Hello, everyone. This is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew C. Horne, and I bring you a video tonight titled "Becoming the Sexually Attractive Villain Ushers You to Heightened Experiences with Women." It's brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available on my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And to continue to push me up the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. And as usual, we're going to get right to it. I want to talk a lot of shit tonight because these are real experiences that happened from last Thursday to last Saturday. And this is the subject matter that I discussed on my Monday night Zoom in my dating coaching community on the school platform, okay? This is a message that I talked about on my Zoom tonight with the exclusive members of my dating coaching community. I want you all to sign up for my dating coaching community, okay? You get exclusive access to me once a week. You can talk to me about anything you want to talk to me about for an hour if you sign up for my dating coaching community. So I want to just let you know that what I'm about to talk about is exactly what I talked about in my dating coaching community Monday night Zoom call. So I'm just giving you a little inroads into the elevated game that I spit in this community. I want to see at least 10 people sign up from this video at least, because I'm about to spit it real and let you know exactly what the members of the community got tonight. So the topic of becoming the sexually attractive villain ushers you to heightened experiences with women. Yes, it came from experiences that I had from last Thursday to last Saturday. And let's pick it up on Thursday, okay? My good friend had a networking event in DC, and he invited me out, sent me the invitation, and I hadn't been to one in a while, so I was like, yeah, I definitely want to be there. I have some new products from my other companies. I was like, yeah, let me go there and promote, support my brother, all that good stuff. And there were a lot of women there. And one woman in particular, I had just seen her last weekend at a club that I go to in DC. And when I saw her last weekend, I said, she looks familiar. I think I've seen her on the dating apps. So in walks Thursday, and everyone's networking, and I see this girl sitting down. And I'm like, hey, you look familiar. I saw you at such and such last weekend. And she was semi-receptive, so I was like, yeah, let me sit down beside you. And so I sit down beside her, and she's like, yeah, I've encountered you before. I've seen you before. She says, you're a catfish. I talked to you on a dating app. You were so arrogant, and you were so this and so that. And I said, well, one of my accounts was hacked, some years back, and it could have been someone posing as me. Like, I don't know. But she said it was like 3 years ago. So I said, you know what? There's obviously nothing that I can do to change your perception of me. So I'm just going to go ahead and get up and just say nice seeing you again. So, I didn't take it any kind of way. That just comes with being the villain. Some women are not able to manipulate you, not able to get things out of you. And then they get mad when they see you in person because you're a departure from the app. You're so much more attractive in person. I mean, that's what strikes women that see me different places, whether it's television, dating apps, YouTube, or whatever the case may be. But striking is how fucking tall I am. They're like, oh, he looked good on the app, but then when they see my ass, I'm fucking 6'5", which makes it even worse. They're like, damn, I couldn't manipulate him, I couldn't control him. And then they feel bad, and that's why they feel the need to give the insults. Oh, you're a catfish, and all this other shit, So I just let that ride, and that's Thursday. So Saturday, my homeboy that had the event, he says, he hits me up and is like, yeah, let's go back to the same spot. I heard it's popping on the weekends, and they have women there, and all that kind of stuff. And this is my boy, so I'm like, all right, I'll be there. So I walk up in the spot Saturday. This is my first time going to this spot on a weekend, and my second time going there overall. And as soon as I get there, my homeboy is like, okay, I got my 6'5" player with me. We about to walk through here. Because I ran into him outside. He was like, yeah, let's go inside. Let's walk through. Let's see what's happening. So me and him walk up in the spot, and, we explored, the different avenues, crevices of the spot. And, I look around. I notice things. And there's definitely women checking me out everywhere I'm walking up in the spot. And he sees someone he knows, and he introduces me, and it's all good, man. We just rolling through the spot. He goes back outside, and I grab a drink. But there was another girl from 3 years ago who recognized me from a dating app, and we get outside, and this girl knew my boy too. So she told him some things about me. She's like, "Is that him?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's him. That's him." And so we go back outside. I have my little beer. We're sitting down, and eventually that girl that he ran into, that had recognized me from the dating app, we're all sitting down outside, and she comes up and she starts talking to him. It's me, my boy, and one of his boys. It's just three of us. Like, we sit outside just chilling. And she starts talking to my boy and this and that. And, I'm just laughing and joking. I'm like, yeah, the after party's at my boy's place, man. I'm just joking, because he's asking her what she's about to do. And she looks at me and she's like, "Oh, you're cheap. Oh, you're cheap. Yeah, I remember you. I remember you." I'm like, "Well, I don't really remember you." And then, she was very blunt with her words, very disrespectful, very unapologetic in her criticism of me. So after she walked away, it's like she's in her 40s or whatever, not in my dating pool, So she walks away, and my homeboy's like, "Yeah, when I was inside, she asked me like who you were and said that she recognized you. And she said that you told her that you don't take women on dates that you haven't had sex with." And so I'm like, yeah, that probably sounds like something I said to her on a dating app, because I don't give a fuck. I'm unapologetic too. So he tells her like, "Yeah, I don't think he said that," but he was like, "Yeah, when she said that," he was like, "Yeah, I knew you said that shit." And we just laugh. But she was very blatantly disrespectful. Like, I didn't really address her in a disrespectful way, but she had to let it be known that my disdain for you is immediate, and my words for you are going to be disrespectful. They're meant to disrupt the rhythm and understanding that you have of yourself. And this particular woman, she was angry. She was angry because she saw me on a dating app, and she saw me walking that motherfucker, in shape, slim, with my slim fit Zara shirt on, my Gucci shoes on, and my diamonds on my wrists, So she's like, "Damn, this motherfucker's a whole presence. He's a whole presence." And that's why she was angry, because there was a shortage of men like me that she encountered. And she got to see it firsthand. She got to see me in my full splendor off of the dating app. So she had to come and try to undermine me. See, women check your blind spots. They assess your value. So let me tell you the exact progressions of what this woman experienced to develop so much hate that she had to come over and try to undermine me. Women are always watching your blind spots. They're assessing your value. Reference my video that I made probably about 7 to 8 months ago. She's watching your blind spots and assessing your value, right? So this is what happened with her when she saw me. When she saw me, she was like, "Oh my God, who the fuck is that?" And then her next progression of thought was, "Oh shit, I met him before." And then she remembered every exactness and every intricate detail of the conversation that we had. And then her next progression was to look at all the other women who had the lust in their eyes looking at me. And so right then and there, she felt defeated. That's why she had to come over to me and try to defeat me, and I didn't even fucking remember who she was or look in her direction. She saw the other women checking me out. She had to acknowledge how enamored that she was with my appearance when she saw me in person. And then that register clicked. She says, "Oh, I met him before. That's the man that wouldn't offer me anything for my pussy." And so she felt defeated, because right then and there, she was like, "My pussy is not special. Look at all these other beautiful women up in here checking this motherfucker out. Let me go try to undermine him and bring him down." So these women are very unapologetic in their disdain for you, in their hate for you, when you're the sexy, attractive man. You are the showpiece. You are the man that she can walk arm in arm with and impress her friends and brag to her friends about. So she was robbed of the opportunity to brag to her friends about me. And it upset her because it was a reminder that she's not as popping as she's told herself that she is. That me, I could just drop her off after she didn't want what I wanted. And there's clearly other women younger and prettier than her that are checking me out. That's why she was so upset. And she had to come over to me and say those words when we were sitting outside. She knew she was defeated, meaning that she was not special. See, these women, they decline, okay? The offers that they got at such and such age, they're not getting them anymore. So the only semblance of hope that they have to maintain their egotistical false perception of themselves is to feed men plates of shit. And then the men eat the shit. And they go to her friends, they go to their friends and say, look at this showpiece, attractive motherfucker that I may eat shit. Because back in the day, it was look at this showpiece motherfucker that wants to be with me. That wants to give me this. But the tide has turned. As Kevin Samuel says, the clock has struck midnight. As Kevin Samuel said, winter is here. And when the sexy, attractive man does not offer her things in accordance with the false perception that she has of herself, she has to accept that winter is here. Her power is gone. And she can no longer manipulate. That's the worst thing that a woman who is Asian can do, is to acknowledge that winter is here and she doesn't have the power to manipulate the sexy, attractive alpha male, the alpha male showpiece. And so that was a heavy reminder for her, and that's why she was expressed so much vitriol and hate. And so, you know, these women are very unapologetic, and they're very sharp with their tongue when it comes to how they talk to men. And so that's why I'm encouraging you to be very unapologetic about what you want from a woman. You have to be very unapologetic about what you want from a woman. Because she's always going to be unapologetic about what she wants from you. So why should you temper your words and not tell a woman exactly what you want from her as soon as you meet her? So in those two women that I described, in each case, my communication with them was the same because I'm the same man. I told them I was looking for something casual. I'm not going to take you on a date and all that kind of stuff. I am enough. I'm not going to give you an offering. And so my communication was unapologetic because I was not afraid to lose them, because my experiences with women are robust. I regularly meet women that are young and attractive, and sex is their idea. So I'm not afraid to talk to any woman in the exact fashion of the experience that I want to have with her. And that's how you should communicate with women. And like I said before, they're unapologetic. They're going to tell you exactly what their prerequisites are. Oh no, you're going to have to take me on a date. You're going to have to give me this offering. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to do that. But my proclamation is real because my experiences support that as a sexy, attractive man. I can tell you I'm looking for something casual because on a regular basis, young, gorgeous, beautiful women, or just beautiful women in general, are okay with that. And half the time, I don't have to tell them that's what I'm looking for because the lust is in her eyes and the sex is her idea. So the perception that I have of myself aligns with the reality of my life. That's the sexy, attractive man. You can't lie to yourself. Whatever perception of yourself that you have, your experiences have to support that and align with it. But that's the problem with a lot of these women, is that they're making proclamations that their experiences and their perception of themselves does not align with. And so they're looking for suckers that they can manipulate. And they're mad because the only men that they can manipulate are men that they're not attracted to. And they're upset because the men that they want, they can't manipulate. Meaning that they have to show up as an inspirational woman that inspires that man to want to be with her. And since they're not an inspirational woman and the clock has struck midnight, she has to accept her reality when she comes up against her match. And that's why you're the villain as the sexy, attractive man, because you do not validate the narcissistic and false perception of herself that she's given to the world. You do not allow her to manipulate and acquire a man and get into the space of a man that she doesn't qualify for. That clock has struck midnight. Those days were over 10, 15 years ago. And you're the reminder. And once you're the reminder, you are the villain. You're the villain. But you want to embrace being termed the villain. The villain is the unapologetic, sexually attractive man who's not afraid to talk to women in straight lines because there's enough women that agree with the proclamations of what he says that he wants from beautiful women. Being called a villain, being talked to in a disrespectful manner after you didn't give the woman what she wanted, that is a compliment. So those two women that I described early on in the video, they complimented me. When they tried to undermine me and paint a picture of myself that was not aligned with who I am and hope that I would accept it, they thought that they were going to, break me down and change my perception of myself, but they validated my perception of myself. They gave me a compliment. And think of this, right? So this was 3 years ago. I didn't remember the intricacies of the conversations that I had with these women, but each of these women remembered every exact word of the conversation 3 years ago. I didn't remember them, and I didn't have any bad sentiments or feelings towards them, but they had bad sentiments and feelings towards me. Now follow what I'm about to say. If these women were regularly getting experiences from sexually attractive, elevated men on a regular basis who were giving them what they wanted, they wouldn't be frustrated. They would have seen me and be like, oh yeah, I remember him from the dating app. And that would have been the end of it. But they remembered every intricate detail of the conversation because I am a representation of what they deem as a suitable match. They're frustrated because they're not able to come across many suitable matches. I was at peace. I was nowhere near frustrated. Even after they talked shit to me and tried to undermine me, I didn't give a fuck. Because my regular experiences in the last 3 years were that those women who didn't want what I want were invisible. They were forgettable. Because I've had so many women in that 3-year span who gave me exactly what I wanted. I've had so many women in that 3-year span, countless women, sex was their idea. I'm talking about women in the prime of their life, the prime of their beauty, early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s. So I didn't remember them, and they remembered me. And they remembered me because the proclamation of them telling the world that they're a bad bitch is false. The proclamation of these men do this for me, and you have to do this for me, it's false. It's false because they remembered me. If they had an overabundance of quality men that were checking for them, giving them the things that they proclaimed that they require from men, I would be a memory. I would be a distant memory. They wouldn't have the energy to be angry towards me and frustrated with themselves. Think about that. So that's why you should never temper your words. These women are not worth giving offerings to. They're not worth deeming as more valuable than you. Because their experiences do not align with and support the proclamations that they're trying to make to you of you have to do this and you have to do that. You have to get to a point, that's what I talked to the young gentleman about on the Zoom call tonight. I said, you have to get to the point that you don't listen to her words, you observe her situation and her reality. You have to think in layers. And that's what I did. That's why I was calm when these women disrespected me. I'm like, you're mad because you can't get the men that you want to bow down to you like you did when you were in your fucking 20s. It was really that simple. Easy math, simple math. So they're frustrated with themselves. I didn't take it personally because these women are talking this shit, this past weekend, but the weekend before, in walks a woman 15 years younger than her. Takes one look at me. Says, oh, you're not going anywhere. And we came back to my spot and did what we did. Those are my experiences. So I don't see a woman who rejected me or rejected what I proposed to her 3 years ago and get mad. For what? You're invisible. I don't remember you. But the fact that you don't remember them, the fact that you didn't give them what they want, now you're the villain. So you have to embrace the categorization of the villain. because it's going to lend you to robust experiences with women. And I'm going to get to that. And so a low quality woman is mad at you as a sexy, attractive man because she couldn't manipulate you. You, as a sexy, attractive man, if you really understand women and understand yourself, you're not going to offer them anything for sex. It's an equal exchange. You're going to think in layers. The layers that I'm going to introduce right now are: these women have been bumping their heads and have been dissatisfied for the last 3 years. To have that much animosity to finally meet me in person and want to undermine me and disrespect me. But these women have been single. These women are single. That's why they're out here looking. They're single, but they're not abstinent. They're not abstinent. So they've been having casual sex. Sex outside of a relationship is casual sex. And I was unafraid to lose them, so that's what I told them I was looking for. And I wasn't disrespectful. I was just like, hey, this is the particular type of experience I want to have with you. Most guys will lie to them, say, oh, I'll date you with intention. And then these women find out that they're the only one in the relationship because that man manipulated them for some consistent pussy. A high quality woman will praise you for your honesty even if she doesn't want casual sex with you. So these women, these particular women that I mentioned, have been out here having casual sex for the last 3 years. They're single, but they're not abstinent. They've been having casual sex. But they wanted to villainize me because they couldn't manipulate me and get something out of me in order to have casual access to them. That's why they're frustrated. So you can't be taken aback when a woman villainizes you. She's just frustrated with herself that she can't get the quality man that she wants to pin her down. She can't inspire that man to want to be in a relationship with her. And then she has to see you in person and fully inhale the magnitude of man that you are, and it heightens her frustration. And then they villainize you. They villainize you. They villainize you because you're a reminder of where they are in the food chain, their decline. That's why they villainize you. So they villainize you for wanting something that they regularly engage in, casual sex. That's crazy, but that's frustration. Villainize you for telling her honestly that you wanted casual sex with no dates involved and no offerings. You're the villain. You're the villain for asking her for something or telling her what you want that's in direct alignment in accordance with what she's out here doing on a regular basis. These women are not abstinent. So don't let a woman try to shame you, insult you, guilt you, ridicule you. As Kevin Samuel says, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. That last woman did all of those things. Tried to shame me. Oh, you're cheap. Insult me. Oh, you're cheap. Shame, insults, and then guilt me because I didn't spend money on her. And she supposedly looked so sexy that night. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. The need to be right was, nigga, you popping. Your 6'5" ass walked up in there, and all of those gorgeous women were checking you out. I need to be right. I need to change your perception of yourself. I need to insult you because I saw the reality of the man that you are when I saw you in person. But I need to be right. I can't lose. I can't be defeated. I need to be right. All those women were checking you out. But no, I have to act like I didn't see that. I have to undermine you. Oh, you're cheap. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. As Kevin Samuel said, that is the communication pitch of the low-quality woman. But fitting with the title of this video, the sexy, attractive, villain. Becoming the sexy, attractive villain. Being the sexy, attractive villain ushers you to heightened experiences with women. Let me break it down how the woman who is right for you communicates with you, how she moves with you. She doesn't exhibit symptoms and ideologies of the low-quality woman. So I'll take you back to when I was 33. And I talked about this in the group tonight. That's why you all have to join my dating coach community, because I give it up raw in there. Take it back to when I was 33. Um, I went up in a spot that's closed in DC. I was up in Marvin's. I make a point of not mentioning the name of the club unless it's closed, okay? I was up in Marvin's. If you're from DC, everybody remembers Marvin's pre-COVID. And I was up in there, and I ran into this guy that I played ball against in college. We were both from the area. We were in the same class. We were playing it against each other for 4 years, okay? He went to a particular school. I went to a particular school. We were in the same basketball conference. And so I see this tall ass motherfucker up in Marvin's, and I say what's up to him, like, yeah, what's going on and this and that. Good to see you. We've graduated at that point. We're in our careers. We're thriving. And he had a sister that was 10 years younger than him that was celebrating her birthday. So he's big brother. He's out, have his little sister out in DC making sure she has a good time, and she has her little 23-year-old friends with her. And after I said what's up to him and said happy birthday to his sister, I walked away not too far. And this girl that was a part of her sister's crew, this young, gorgeous, freaking, just flawless, little caramel skin thing, man, looked dead at me. And she was so attracted to me. She was looking at me. She couldn't even hold her gaze. She kept looking down and this and that. But she looked at me enough to give me that unspoken invitation to come over there and talk to her. So I talked to her, and just a little bit of small talk, and I got her number, and she was just so overwhelmed by my presence, by how attracted to me that she was. And I was walking away because I was about to leave, and she said, "Make sure you call me." She let it be known that we were going to get together, and it was going to be sooner than later. She said, "You make sure you call me." So when these old, women who've aged out try to give you shit, that's why you're not frustrated, because these are your experiences as a sexy, attractive man. So, I left the spot. She hit me up the next day and let me know that she wanted to see me. And she was dropping hints that she was going to be in DC, not too far from where I live. She was dropping hints that I didn't have to take her out on the date. And me, in whatever mindset that I was in, I was like, no, I'll come out to where you live and I'll take you out and all this other stuff. And the whole time, she's telling me you don't have to do that. But she wanted me enough that she's like, okay, this man is working against himself, but I'm still want to see him. So, I took her to dinner, not too far from where she lived. And she lived with her mom. I had my own spot. And so after dinner, she followed me, and we went back to my place. And, we did what we did. We really enjoyed each other that night. We really enjoyed each other that night. So the next morning, we wake up, and I look at her, and I'm just like, this was enjoyable. I want to keep this going. I want to really get to know you. And she looked at me and was like, I really want to get to know you as well. And we had a bit of an enjoyable time. Things ultimately didn't work out. But those are the experiences. Those are the heightened experiences that becoming the villain ushers you to. You're the villain that ushers you to heightened experiences because you get away from the women who are requiring things from you, and you always move towards the women who are offering themselves to you, who see you as a gift. So becoming the villain ushers you to heightened experiences. I had a woman 10 years younger than me in the prime of her beauty at 23. Gorgeous, man. Just offered herself. Sex was her idea. Everything was her idea. So you have no reason to be mad like these women I'm telling you in the story, because your experiences support the perception that you have of yourself. You're not a manipulator. You're not a narcissist. You're just a man who's fully aware of himself. And in society, a man who is fully aware of himself, who clearly, in the face of society, in the face of women, can get the experiences that you want. And you're not going to give the woman who is not aligned with you, who is not your match, you're not going to give her those experiences. Motherfucker, you're the villain. But I don't want you all to be afraid to state your proclamations of what you want from women. I want you to boldly and gladly be the villain. Don't worry about women trying to mess your name up out here because they couldn't get what they wanted to get from you. Don't worry about low quality women who are mad that they couldn't manipulate you like these other unattractive piece of shit ass suckers that they fuck with on a regular basis. Don't be mad at these women. It's the natural course of events and actions. It's nature. They're supposed to undermine you. They're supposed to try to bring your name down. But the quality women who are more of a match for you, who desire you the way that you desire yourself, they're not going to hear that noise. A lot of men are afraid to speak to women in straight lines because they're afraid what these women are going to spread about them. The woman who wants you is not going to be dissuaded or persuaded to move against you by the words of a low quality woman. Women understand who each other are. Quality women understand the communication pitch of a low quality woman. So she's not going to pay attention to the pitch of a low quality woman who tries to come to her and undermine your name. She's going to say, oh, she couldn't get what she tried to manipulate this guy for. She's going to interpret that without you having to defend yourself. So be unapologetic in how you talk to women. They're unapologetic in terms of making their proclamations of what they want from you. They're unapologetic in terms of manipulating you, making you think that there's something that they're not. They're unapologetic. They're unapologetic of making you feel guilty for telling them that you want casual sex when they regularly engage in casual sex. They're unapologetic. That's why you should spit your proclamations in a straight line and be your unapologetic, heightened self and have heightened experiences with the women who are in full recognition of who you are. This has been Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach. This brings you a video talking about becoming the villain, the sexy, attractive villain, ushers you to heightened experiences with women. I hope I was thorough, and I hope you got this one, man. It's brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push me with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. Also, if you want me to make a custom video on a particular topic, okay, the price point has changed. If you have a particular topic that you want me to make a video on, I see you all in the comments asking me to make videos on this and videos on that. What you have to do is make a donation of $150 or more to my PayPal or my Cash App that's in my video description. Once you make a donation of $150 or more to my PayPal or my Cash App, there's a note feature on PayPal and on Cash App. You leave your video title in the note feature after you make your donation of $150 or more. And your video will be on my channel, Matthew C. Horne Dating, on YouTube in 24 hours or less. I put a lot of care and time into making your custom videos. And as you can see a couple videos back, that was a custom video. And that gentleman got way more than he paid for, so I had to increase the price point, okay? And if your topic is more in depth than just leaving a note on PayPal or Cash App, you still make your $150 or more donation to my PayPal and my Cash App that's in my video description. And then you email me your more in-depth description of what you want me to speak on. You email me at matt@matthewchorne.com with your more in-depth description, and your video will be on my channel, Matthew C. Horne Dating, on YouTube within 24 hours or less. If my video has been of value to you tonight, if your thought process has been elevated, and you know that you are much better for having encountered my message, you got breakthroughs, clarity, whatever type of increase that you got, I want you to make a donation to my PayPal or my Cash App that's in my video description. I'll never tell you what to donate. Just donate according to how you've been impacted by my message. Your donations are something that I never take for granted. They continue to help me to elevate and grow as I continue to help you to elevate and grow as well. So utilize my PayPal and my Cash App that's in my video description and make your donation so I can keep spitting this elevated game. If you're in need of coaching, if you know that my voice resonates with you and you have particular issues in the dating space that you've been unable to overcome, I want you to email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. I'm your dating coach. Leave coaching in the subject matter. Leave your name, your phone number, and and whatever issue that you're facing in the dating space, you leave that in the body of the email. I'll do an assessment of it, and I'll get back to you promptly with the terms of the coaching. Once you accept the terms, then we will set a date and time, and the coaching will commence. And I promise you, you will get breakthroughs when you get personal one-on-one coaching with me. Okay, the terms, I'll give them to you. Once you accept the terms, we'll get right to the coaching. Everything's fast, streamlined, and immediate over here. And I'm still looking for 5 individuals who want year-long coaching with me. Okay, the slots are filling up. I still have available slots, only 5 though. This is my year-long mentorship coaching program. I'm taking on 5 people. With this, you're going to receive at least 3 coaching calls per week. And we're also going to meet up in person. But aside from meeting up in person, you're going to have 24-hour access to me as well. Meaning that if you're in a situation, you met a woman on a dating app, you met her in a grocery store, you don't know quite what to do next, you met her out at the club, at the bar, the lounge, just out and about, you can contact me 24 hours a day and I'll make myself available to you. This is very personalized coaching. So you get your minimum of 3 coaching calls per week, and then you have 24-hour access to me as well. And you're also going to be able to meet up with me in person. No matter where you are in the world, because I do coach gentlemen all over the world, I'll see to it after I've coached you for a period of time that we're going to meet up, we're going to go out, we're going to approach women together, and I'm going to assess you in person. It's a very valuable offering that I'm giving, and I'm still looking to fill up the slots for the 5 individuals. And there's going to be some life coaching involved in this as well, because you have to become a particular type of man to get the outcomes that you want in the dating space. If you're interested in this, I want you to email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. Leave mentorship in the subject matter of the email, and leave your name and your phone number, and tell me about yourself, where you are, and where you want to be in the dating space. And I promise you, if you undertake this mentorship coaching with me, I will take you beyond your wildest expectations, and your life will never be the same. I'm going to do an assessment when you email me, and then I'm going to get back to you with the terms of the mentorship. And then I'm going to do the assessment, meaning that the coaching, when it begins, it's going to take you from exactly where you are to the place that I know you want to arrive at and beyond. This is going to be an amazing offering. So just email me. Lastly, my school community. This message tonight was derived from my hour-long coaching Zoom session that I have once a week in my Zoom community. If you like what I had to say tonight, this is the level of game and communing that you can have with me once a week for an entire hour. I am yours for an hour. There's amazing things happening in the community. I give 2 exclusive videos every week that are independent to the community. They're not on YouTube. And also, you get to get with me for an hour every week on the Zoom call. I do a monologue about a particular topic, and then we can discuss that topic. And then when we're done discussing the topic, I'm yours for an hour. Tell me anything that's going on in your life, situations you've been having with women, things you want to experience. I'm yours for an hour. It gets no more valuable than that. So I want you all to sign up for my dating coaching community that's on the school platform. The information, the link to sign up will be in the video description, as well as pinned to the top of the comments. I've enjoyed spending some time with you tonight. This is a very in-the-moment, recent experience that birthed this video tonight. And I just want you all to know I'm going to continue to give you my best. And just please remember, it's a compliment to be labeled a villain. Most men are pliable. Most men are weak. Most men are going to acquiesce to the demands of women in order to get a whiff of that pussy. It's really that simple. But when you're the villain, you're the man who values himself and doesn't value a woman above him, then women are going to villainize you because they can't manipulate you and get things out of you in order for you to get something that they give out freely on a casual basis. It's really that simple. Learn to think in layers. Learn to become so elevated as a man that you can instinctively see all sides of women. Learn to know when a woman is trying to run a game on you, run a play on you, and manipulate you. And all of your experiences with women will be robust. No woman can undermine you when you regularly have experiences with women who are your optimal first choice on a regular basis. Their attempts are drowned out by the fulfillment that you have of the women that you deem as your first choice approaching you on a regular basis, giving you robust experiences, and sex is their idea. I said enough, man. I'll see you all soon.